You can get some really awesome vehicles and rides in Far Cry 6 that are actually super fun. Some of them are extremely unique, and most important, they will help you out a ton when just exploring out there or maybe traversing from one point to another. But I also want to go over some unique vehicles in this video that will definitely enhance your gameplay to the next level. Now, I will split this video into multiple parts because we're gonna deal both with the rides, the summonable cars that you can pretty much summon anywhere you want, and of course the regular old vehicles that you just find out in the wild by either stealing them or by scanning them. And specifically, you get to start early on with Juan's car that is given to you for free, so you can straight away go ahead and customize it. But there's 3 more on top of that we will discuss in this video. But before going over the rides, I want to go over an even earlier vehicle beforehand. This one is going to be a military vehicle and is gonna be a tank. You can find it on the northwestern part of the starting island at this FND tank depot. And there's gonna be a bunch of enemies here, so what I recommend is to try to take them down before they actually take control over the tank. Otherwise, you will need to sabotage it in order to steal it from them, which can be quite tricky. From this point on, you actually have to bring it to a vehicle pickup point because just scanning it simply won't unlock it. And the nearest one is going to unfortunately be all the way up to the eastern part of the map, but it's not that far away, like only a couple of kilometers, and it doesn't take too long for you to reach that point. Do keep in mind that you have to conquer that base right there to unlock that vehicle control point, but once you do, you can simply park right in front of it in these blue markings on the ground, and this is going to unlock that vehicle for you, and you can pretty much summon it from any other vehicle control point. And yes, tanks are super powerful in this game. They can resist damage quite a bit as long as you're not damaged by rockets, but it's also useful at just destroying things with your oversized turret. Now, still going in the same order of unlocking these the fastest, the next one is going to be the 1962 Verrazzano Bravo, which just looks amazing. It's one of the only supercars in the game you can unlock for yourself, and you can actually get it through a race quite early in the game. It's pretty much called the International Waters Relay, and you get to do it right here on this side of the map, right as you reach the second region after finishing the introductory part of the game. But it's a pretty easy obstacle course. You just have to take a jet ski and kind of try to avoid any of these water mines, and at the end of it, you're pretty much going to be given that car automatically and immediately summon it and customize it. I really like it. As I've said, it's one of the fastest cars in the game, and it's going to be super helpful to you if you're going from one place to another on some of these bigger roads between some of the major cities, and it's also a really sweet ride to have in your inventory. Also, keeping on the same note of the rides, the next one is also pretty close to this one, and you get it through a mission called Backseat Driver, but you do have to unlock a part of the mission in Madrugada region, so yeah, just go ahead and do a couple of missions over there until you unlock this side mission right here. So basically, in this mission, you have to steal back Yami's 2008 CAG TG car, which is pretty much one of those armored vehicles, but way better, and you can also put any turret on top of it as long as you unlock them. But it's gonna be in the middle of one of these military bases. The objective will bring you here, and you kind of have to take down some of these patrolling cars beforehand. So definitely use that minigun in the middle of it, since it's gonna make it super easy to blow these cars up. And as soon as you're done with that, you're gonna open up the garage and you're gonna be able to immediately redeem that car for you. And yes, as soon as you finish the mission, the car is given to you automatically, so you can again summon it at any point. It's also really awesome, seems to resist damage quite a bit, but it's not invulnerable if you were wondering that. But let's go to the next and final ride that you can pick for yourself. This one is going to be another 4x4 vehicle, the 1985 Tokai Subaku or Sabuku. I'm not really sure exactly how you pronounce this, but essentially you get it in the El Esto region right here on this side of the map. Actually, there's gonna be a kind of this lake with some sort of abandoned shack nearby, and right over there you're going to encounter one of these like broken down machineries. You have to climb on top of it because you're gonna want to make your way towards this window in the side of the building. So once you're inside, just crouch, destroy some of these like boxes and other planks you might find in there, and make your way to the right side. It's gonna be easy to navigate this. Just head over there, also grab some of these FND caches you might find on the way. But right here in this garage or whatever this building is, there's gonna be the truck right there that you can immediately go ahead and pick up. And there's also this cool cutscene after which you're gonna be able to drive it and completely unlock it as your own. Again, really awesome vehicles, and with that you should be done with all of the rides in the game. But you're not done with all of the vehicles in the game. As I've said previously, there's gonna be tons of vehicles for you to unlock. Some of them you can unlock simply by pulling out your phone camera, while others, which are the military vehicles, this includes anything that has a gun attached to it, and maybe even more, like helicopters, planes, armored trucks, even tanks. So you can definitely steal those, but you can only redeem them and unlock them if you bring them to their respective control points. So for example, if you're stealing a plane, you actually have to bring it physically to a plane control point. If you're stealing something like a tank, you have to bring it to a vehicle drop point, and so on and so forth. But the next couple of really awesome unlocks are going to be located on the very northern part of the map, right here in this big airstrip slash airport. There's also two anti-aircraft batteries nearby, so I definitely suggest you at least take down the one that covers the airport. Otherwise you're not going to be able to like take off without getting blown out of the air. So the first vehicle that you can find here is going to be this really cool plane. I'm not really sure exactly how it is called. I believe that this is the Adjudicator or Adjudicer. I'm not really sure how you pronounce that, but it's a really cool plane. Just go ahead, steal it, maybe even take down some enemies just in case they shoot you down. And what this does is that it comes in with two really special attacks. One of them is the fact that you can drop a payload. You can like just go into this really cool view, throw a payload, and it's gonna blow anything below you to crisps. Like for example, if there's an armored vehicle or maybe one of these convoys, you can blow them up from the sky, and you also have a really nice view of that when it happens. But you also have like the minigun on it, so it's gonna be super easy to do dogfights or take down other helicopters with this specific plane. Now there's a final vehicle on the list, which honestly is really my favorite because it's both a ground and an air vehicle, and you can also find it at the same military airstrip I was talking about, but this time around is going to be inside one of these hangars, and it looks something like this. It's kind of like a buggy, but it also has some huge propellers in the back. Now you can definitely drive these on the road, which is the lame way of doing things, or you can press Q on the keyboard and mouse, or whatever the equivalent is on the controller. You pretty much have the control scheme right here, but if you press that button, your character is kind of going to pull this lever, which is going to immediately put the buggy into its flight mode. And I will say this, flying in this thing is super fun and super easy, especially since you don't have any wings to worry about. There's also a really convenient kind of like grenade launcher right in front of it that you can also deploy without having to like change seats or whatnot. So it's again a really powerful one that you can also use to blow up enemies. But these are most of the great vehicles and rides you can find in Far Cry 6. Now there's gonna be a ton of others you can find out in the world. Some of them you will definitely want for some of their added advantages, like maybe they will unlock some of those really cool mounted guns on your regular rides, or you might want to get them for the really cool skins and other cosmetics that they will also unlock for you. But this is it for now. Thanks so much for watching. In the meantime, totally let me know down below which one of these vehicles is your favorite, and I will see you guys in the next one.